Alright, we are here with Nicol Bolas, God-Pharaoh, 7 mana, 7 loyalty. I'm sure most people who play this format have bumped into this, but probably doesn't need that much introduction. The reason I'm playing it is because I don't really like all the heisting people are throwing into their Grixis control decks. I just don't really like the heist stuff outside of Grenzo and maybe that 1 mana black spell, which I do have in here. Out of spite, I should just not run it, but I think this one's alright. It does have a little bit of graveyard hate attached to it. And it's an instant, so like if you don't do anything for the turn, it's guaranteed to hit a non-land. It costs 1 mana. I think this is fine. But for the most part, I don't really like the heisting strategy. I don't believe random assortment of cards out of your opponent's deck is an avenue to victory. I think you can win, and plenty of people do. It's just if your opponent's playing some weird combo deck, all your heisting things might not hit anything. And I know you rob the card, like they don't have a copy of it now. So, and they don't know that, right, until they crack a fetch land, and if their deductive reasoning is good enough, they can see what card is gone. But for the most part, you know, you're probably, like, taking a card you, quote-unquote, can't beat, right, if you're not finding something that you don't see yourself playing as, like, a value thing. But I don't know, the heist thing is just not what I've been about whenever I play a Grixis deck, so as such, we are playing this Grixis control as control-y as it gets. There are no creatures. I went out of my way to make sure there are no creatures. You can run Snapcaster Mage. I guess the 4-mana Nicol Bolas creature that flips. Oracle of the Alpha seems to be a thing people love. I still don't think that card is that amazing. Any of the Shieldreds, like, you can run these. I'm just not going to because Grixis control, alright? I refuse to do it. We're just doing something like this. The benefit is all of your opponent's removal spells now are dead. So you can just completely avoid that chunk of your opponent's deck if they're running Swords to Plowshares or all the black removal, some red spells that might not go to your Planeswalkers, Essence Scatter, you know, just anything that only interacts with creatures you now don't have to worry about, and that is a benefit, that is an upside. This is the first time I've played with Stifle. I just crafted it. I think Stifle is now basically in auto-include in blue decks, unless Stifle like pushes your deck into tier 1, and then I guess you can take it out, but as far as I'm aware, Nicol Bolas is not a tier 1 commander. I do bump into it a lot. If it is, well, I probably have to change everything at the top half, because I don't think this is going to beat Keenan and what is it, Sithis, or whatever, Scythus. But I don't think it is, at least because I play against Nicol Bolas God-Pharaoh a lot. The 5 mana and 4 mana Nicol Bolases, though, seem to be tier 1. This one does not. So I still have all the really good stuff. Oh, Ragavan, right. The Ragavan is also one of the, you know, creatures to just play, but again, I'm just going to be spiteful against creatures and not run any. I might want to run River's Rebuke, but I currently do not have it. One of these could probably just come out for it. There are no mana rocks, so I don't know how often I'll actually play Nicol Bolas, but that opens up room in my deck to just not worry about that, because I have way more powerful things to do instead of just like a mana rock in turn 2. Especially if I don't want my opponent to ever stick on the board and then I feel bad, so I think Wayfarer's Bauble being an instant is worth it. You can play it on turn 1 and then crack it whenever you want to. I don't have a lot of basic lands, though, so, you know, could be a problem. We'll see. But that's it. Grixis control, spiting the heist. Heist spite. Oh, you know what? Yeah. Alright. Like, comment, subscribe. Oh, wow. Okay. This is usually a tier higher. This commander is usually a tier higher than this one. Oh, please. Just once. Please work just one game. Just give me one game where I just instantly win doing this. Please, please, please. Just let this work, please. Just one game.
Yes! Yes!
Yes. That's what you get for playing a better commander. And still in my tier bracket for some reason. Every time I play this commander, it puts me in tier 1. So that's what you get. Yes! Taste it. Oh, taste it. Look at that. Nicol Bolas OP. Of course. One of the cards I cannot fundamentally beat unless I have the immediate answer. I would have lost the game if I was on the draw. Let it be known. Alright. I don't think I'm killing this Gilded Goose. I can kill, like, the Saproling token, and then this can't do anything. I can also just literally kill this, let them put it to the command zone, or the graveyard, and then kill the Saproling later. That works, too. I think I'm going to end up doing that. Let's get a Blood Crypt. I think a Watery Grave is better. They did keep it in the graveyard, so if I deal with this Saproling, they might be screwed. I cannot currently deal with it, though, so I gotta wait a turn, which is a little unfortunate. But they don't have a target in the graveyard yet with it, other than this Delighted Halfling, which I don't really feel concerned about them reanimating, and I don't imagine they will. But, I mean, maybe it's just free to do that. I don't know. It's kind of weird, though. Alright, they just decided to do that. I feel like I kind of win out in this transaction, because I just blow up the board now. I feel like that was a little weird. Well, so far I'm not instantly losing to lands. That's cool. That's a start. First time for everything. This one. Fatal Push is probably better than not Fatal Push. So, Crux of Fate, Crux of Fate, right? Yeah, non-dragon. It's not like I can counter anything, because Delighted Halfling came back into play. That's just an acidic slime. Okay, cool, cool. Hopefully I draw a land. Alright, I did. Is it a good enough land? It sort of, kind of is. I will play this. And I think I'm gonna plus it. I don't think I'm interested in minusing on the acidic slime. Maybe if it, like, exiled it forever, but it doesn't. So now I need them to not have, like, some Omega level threat. I can sweep the board again. My opponent got rid of their Saproling. I don't really know what that's about. I kind of assume the card they just got, like, nullifies any... Oh, if I drew a fetch land. If I drew a fetch land, I would have been in an amazing spot. But I didn't. Something's telling me it's still sort of right to just, like, get rid of this. I'm not sure what they tutored for. Gristlebrand? No. Okay. What does that do? It gets back this thing? It doesn't have a haste or anything, right? No. Okay, they just want to blow up a land again, I guess. Is that... I feel like that's not the best thing my opponent could have done, but... Okay. Well, we need to replace those lands. Probably better to scry one instead of just exiling something. Although, I think I'm going to just blow up the board. Oh, man, I can't blow up the board without losing my own planeswalkers. This is so annoying. Okay. Alright, let's exile something. And then I can Fatal Push the token, and then I can't do anything else. I can play... I can make a bunch of 1/1s. And then shock myself. And then just sit there and contemplate my whole existence. My opponent can reanimate a Lumara. Okay, so I block, chump block. And then I can kill the tokens with the pings here, so they don't have a sapperling. I guess I only needed to block with 2 of them, actually. I didn't have to block with all 3. Don't know if that matters that much, but... They get acidic slime again. Okay. Yep. Let's fatal push the commander. They're doing a good job at keeping me at a low mana count, but I have 2 very scary planeswalkers in play, so it's not the end of the world, but it is really bad that that's happening. Bedevil is a card I can cast, but I don't know if I want to. I think I have enough of that in my hand already. Probably not concerned about that. Surprised they're not getting rid of lands, but maybe that makes sense. Okay. 1 card left. I'm not gonna make a move. Maybe I should. No, this isn't kill my planeswalkers, and they don't have to ultimate to just continue winning the game on their own. Well, it looks like I might actually beat the tutor. Kind of surprised they didn't tutor for a card that is a lot scarier than, well, what they tutored for. I don't have a second blue source. I don't even know if I'd want to cast that anyways. Oh, well, I drew the second blue source. Look at that. Let's play Palantir now. Acidic Slime still exists, so these things aren't actually that exciting, but it is what it is, right? I don't even want Tasha. I don't think I want Tasha. Yep. You can't respond to this, if anyone's curious. I can't kill the sapperling in response. My opponent did not get Acidic Slime this time, which I kind of disagree with. Oh, there goes Casualties of War, which would have been a huge problem. So we are on the old kill 1 creature at a time sort of thing right now. And I'm just going to do exactly that. Tail's End is interesting. That can counter or stifle the trigger of my opponent's commander. Bounce the token, maybe? No, I'm just going to keep plussing. If we keep threatening ultimates, then my opponent has to eventually do something about it, right? Okay, I guess I'll take that. Yeah, I kind of regret getting rid of that mana drain. So let's cut down the Saproling. And then when they go to do their thing again, I can stifle it. Alright, they didn't give me access to it. They could have swung. Like, I didn't actually have a way to stop a second trigger. All they had to do was attack, right? And then from there I can stifle the actual bottom ability once they go to do it. Then they have no Saprolings, and this is in the graveyard, so... That technically is the second blue source, I just can't cast it immediately. This has nothing to do with my commander, my opponent's commander, because it's got Convoke, so I'm a little bit less concerned about it. Let's play this tapped. I don't have anything else to do, so... Alright, well, we'll see if Llanowar Elves just wins the game immediately, which appears to be the primary causation of my losses. Does not appear to be the case. I don't know what is it, instant speed here? Kind of confused. Okay. Spells your opponent's cast from graveyards or exile cost 2 more. If I kill this, the plot is 0. Does this do anything else? Nope. That's interesting. That's interesting. Selfless Spirit, should I just counter anything? I think I actually will counter this. I think I will. That's fine. I don't really get to use the floating colorless, though, but it's probably better than letting that resolve, especially if I draw certain cards. My opponent doesn't have a land, so this Fatal Push could just win the game. And land, I have 5. I suppose I'll use the colorless here, because I can't really use it anywhere else. Or it's kind of hard to. All of these are hilarious. Adeline is probably the best one. Do I just cast it immediately is the question. Oh, I can't because of the Aven thingy. Gotcha. I don't believe I have any incentive to reanimate or do anything, so... Oh, they top decked the land. Look at that. Look at them go. Look at them do their thing. You didn't use your 3 mana last turn, so I don't know why this turn would be any different. Oh, well, no, they cast a 2 mana spell last turn. Never mind. And create a map token. Alright, let's keep our opponent off the board. I think that's a good idea. I did draw a land too. I probably would cast this if this is untapped, but it's not. Do I reanimate like this random 3/4? I feel like that's just ridiculous to do. And it's probably a good idea to cast this now, because it gives me ideas of what I want to do. They can cast Buxton. Let's just get Wash Away so they cannot cast Buxton. This is the downside of showing your opponent like what you randomly found here, but if they draw a land, I'd rather not like have Buxton resolve this turn cycle. I cannot cut down that anymore. Of course not. Adeline is better than what my opponent has presented, so I will play Adeline. And my opponent has swords. Of course they do. Why not? And now this is the part where they top deck a land and I lose the game. No, it's not. Apparently not. Apparently not. How do I stop myself from dying in the air? I really just sort of don't, huh? I just sort of don't. It'd be kind of lame to die to this random 3/3 flyer, but given the situation, it appears to be what's happening. I don't see why they'd want a second copy of this, so there's no real reason. Okay, never mind. Yep, I'm just gonna die to these cards here in the air. I need to top deck something or seek something or... I don't know. That is all right. Probably too late. I don't believe casting my commander is useful. Okay, so I can bounce the Aven token and then lightning bolt the real one? Wait, that can swing? Oh, I missed the attack then. I should have... Man, I didn't know it could swing. Well, if they wanted to cast their commander, they didn't want to swing because now they don't have the Convoke. So I guess maybe I baited them into a 1 damage attack that way. Yeah, it looks like it actually worked out. My opponent could have just played their commander and now can't. That actually just worked out. Okay, this would be good. But I'm so low that maybe I can't afford to spend 5 mana on something that doesn't immediately save me. My commander is a little too slow. I feel like I have to reanimate something that protects my face from, like, random things like this. Especially, yeah. I don't know. I lose a lot of life getting this card, but I feel like I don't have a choice, because I am literally dying, so... I guess this is free enough. Already played a land, huh? Alright, they drew another land. Finally. After a zillion years, although they've been doing pretty fine without it. Solitude is a card I'd rather not play against right now. Let's put that on top. Wow. That's nuts. Yep, we stabilized at 3. I guess my opponent didn't have anything. This is looking like a... Oh, I forgot to take out the Windswept Heath. Forgot to take out the Windswept Heath. Heuristic Study is actually pretty good here, so... if I play this, I'm not committing to it for a while. I think I'm going to play the... Alright. We're going to do this. We like that. It's my opponent's second turn, and they didn't play a Menadork, so I think I can play like this. I would really like to cast this Heuristic Study next turn. Which means I am shields down for a while, but Crux of Fate exists, so I can sort of offset all of that nonsense. What does 3 creatures do? Draw? Kind of annoying. Yep, we're just going to play this. It replaces itself immediately as well, which is huge. I do need a 5th land. I can simply kill my opponent's commander, especially if they swing with the tokens and don't do anything else with them. Like they didn't draw a card or whatever. Alright. I had to think about this. Fascinating. So double... No. Oh, I forgot this would flip, actually. I forgot that would flip. Tragic. I think I'm gonna kill Balin. And am I playing a tap land? Probably. Kind of unfortunate to do that, actually. But I think I really, really should play a untap land this turn, so... Yeah, just put Lorien instead. Yeah, that makes sense. I can see it. I can see it. Surely you just play your commander again, right? I probably wouldn't, but... Looks like some kind of convoke spell? Oh. Okay. Is this like... Is that even good? I think we'll counter that Conclave. I feel like countering that Conclave is a good idea, right? We can counter it. That's fine. My opponent's willing to get rid of this. I feel like I'm kind of happy about that. Alright, so Crux of Fate blows up everything, but do I wait? I probably don't wait. I don't want these tokens to be a problem in the meantime, especially if they cast their commander. They were willing to blow up this Ristic study, but then they proceeded to just perfectly pay for it anyways. It's kind of weird. Let's go find an actual colored land. And let's play you. Alright, their commander on its own is not very scary. Yeah, this is weird. My opponent really just ended up paying for it every time anyways. Like, why did they go to blow this up and then just pay for it every time? That's funny. They got a Tails End out of my hand, I guess. Sure. Spring Heart on literally nothing. You got it. They already played their land. Alright, so I'm looking for a whole bunch of different things. Of course, I don't draw any of it. No surprise there. 7 mana for my commander, and 7 mana for my commander. I can harass the hand, I can steal cards. I think stealing is slightly better. I got something that literally does nothing, of course. But notably, my commander does not die because it has a boatload of loyalty. Springheart Nintaku is not a token, and they didn't swing with it, so I don't know what that means. Like, this doesn't help with your commander. It's not a token. They could have just simply attacked me with it. Opponent chose to do stone cold nothing. Alright, what do you got in hand then? Convoke the Multitudes or whatever? Whatever it's called. I also drew Windswept Heath, by the way. Whoops. Look at that. This looks like the X11 token card. March of the... yeah. And they kept up 2 instead of 1. That's really weird. I feel like I don't know what they're respecting, but... okay. I guess it works. Kind of weird. Oh wow, they have O'Hare in their hand. That's kind of good, huh? So, their hand is empty, and I don't see a reason to do anything with plus. I got that, I guess. Okay. Volcanic Spite. Do I use it immediately? I think I actually do. Especially how I can get rid of this card. Look at that. Getting rid of the Windswept Heath that has no text on it. Geniuses. Genius level plays. I can't level this one up because I don't have any white mana. Alright, we did it. We actually did it. Tapped and attacking. Okay. It's safe to say my opponent probably has more than one vampire to, like, allow this to continue doing its thing. But it costs 6 mana. It's kind of way out there. Kind of, like, way out there. Especially for a black-red deck. It isn't Grenzo either. So it doesn't, like, win immediately when it does the thing with stuff. I would not have negated this Cold Steel Heart. My opponent just didn't do anything. That's kind of nuts, actually. If you're not going to do anything, I would cast this. Okay. They could have just cycled that for a tapped Surveil land and played it immediately. Chose not to. That's weird. Okay, they have both of their cycling cards, but they can't cast their commander next turn, so I don't really care. If they could, I wouldn't have done what I did. Oh, it has to be a legendary vampire. Oh, I see. I don't really have any interest in making a 3-2. It does technically save some life, maybe blocking these, but on average I feel like that doesn't make sense. Let's play untapped land. So I leave up negate and cards. Yeah. It has to attack. Okay, I was about to say, it has to attack. It doesn't have flash. I am not going to crack that. And I don't think I need more lands or cards, so I think I'll just make a treasure. I'm not interested in casting magic cards, so I'll get rid of you. I feel like I'm fine. Okay. Sure. I have to spend a... I really don't want to spend a treasure here, but alright, fine. I'll get my brain surge opportunity eventually. But I still kind of really like all the cards in my hand anyways, so... And the way this game is going, I don't believe the 3/2s would kill my opponent before they killed me. So I'm not going to cast them. I'm not going to make them. I'm almost at the point where I can... Ooh, you know what? This is a 3/4, huh? Okay. I actually have to play Magic now. I don't have an answer to their commander resolving. Okay, I found one. Let's get rid of you and you. No particular order. Alright. I was about to say, I actually don't have an answer to the commander. But I did draw it. Alright, I will fetch away these cards that I don't care about. And I don't believe I'm bedeviling Cold Steel Heart. I can probably get a gateway here, or a gate. I don't have to get a Surveil land given the black market. I can almost cast my commander as well. It's probably safe at this point to cast this. I will. I will add red mana that I don't use, or do I do something else? Alright, we'll just send some damage. Maybe I find the castable spell like Thoughtseize or something, I don't know. I can't protect Chandra. Alright, that's fine. I could have negated that, but I don't think I have to. I really don't think I have to. Like, look at the way this game is going. Why am I concerned about protecting a Chandra? Okay, well, we can be very thankful we did not use negate earlier. And this is kind of why. I might actually draw off this black market once or twice. Maybe just once, see what happens. I also probably don't have to make a treasure every time. Okay. I cannot get immediately punished in the form of my opponent's commander because I have enough mana to just do this. And I'm not really interested in attacking their hand, but they have a lot of removal spells that might be dead. I might as well. It could matter. We'll see. We'll see what these cards are. Lightning Bolt in Blood Moon? They actually had Blood Moon. I feel like they would have windmill slammed it earlier. Alright, yeah. Very, very crucial to that win. Absolutely. I should end on that note, actually. I really should. Yeah, it's already way later than I usually stream, but I start it later. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Okay, so I cannot say for 100% certainty, as when I bumped into the mirror match, I got mana screwed, so I didn't actually get to see. But when I played the mirror, the only thing my opponent did was cast heist spells. And what is my opponent stealing? My deck. What is my deck doing? Answering my opponent's deck. So, in the mirror, when you're against a Grixis heist deck, it's just weird. Right, you're just killing heisting spells and then dealing with your own spells. And most of my spells kind of kill creatures, and I don't have any. So, but on average, like, the only argument here is, do you really need mana rocks? And if you do, what do you take out, right? Like, if I'm taking out up to 15 cards, the deck is very different. I'm probably taking out more than just the mana rock slots because I can add bigger spells like sweepers, more sweepers, although I kind of have all of them. I don't have Blood in the Snow. I guess I could run that one too. More 5-mana planeswalkers, more 4-mana planeswalkers. And it's totally feasible. It makes sense to do that. I can see an argument for doing it. I just want it to play with none. So pound for pound, my deck is stronger. It does mean it's pretty crucial to never miss your land drop, though, right? It's just a slower, more traditional, quote-unquote, way to play a control deck, right? If you're Bant and you have, like, Growth Spiral for days sort of control thing, you know, you have that going for you, but we don't. I only got one game with black market connections, but I guess in that one game it did save me from losing to Blood Moon, because my opponent just chose not to cast it because I had black market, so that was nice. But even still, black market's just solid. It is the only real way to produce creatures from my side, I think. I mean, I guess Liliana's ultimate, but that just wins. The 3/2s there are kind of interesting, but this is one of those games, or one of those decks. This is one of those decks that you don't want to make 3/2s, because if it's your only creature, the 20 cards in your opponent's deck that didn't do anything now have targets in the form of removal. Isolating removal spells in your opponent's hand is excellent. There is a downside that they can now just easily remove them from hand when you plus your Nicol Bolas, which makes the +1 even worse. Even worse. The +2 I get is part of the heist idea, because that's what the +2 does. It heists cards. So Nicol Bolas likes to control people. The whole, mind control thing. That's what Nicol Bolas is all about. Scheming and using other people as a resource. So if you're on the heist thing, this is one of the commanders that's good at doing it because of the +2. However, every time I +2'd, or at least most of the time I +2'd, I stole nothing of consequence. I stole a card that didn't do anything. There are so many strategies where stealing a mana dork, or a ramp spell, or a 1-mana 1/1 like Soul Warden, or anything that has to do with tokens are just terrible, right? And green is the most prolific color, right? It's the most played color. It's still, kind of the best color in the format. The average green card you're stealing is not that good. Now, if you have the entire heist strategy package, maybe there's an argument to +2ing a random card being excellent, but for the most part, not really. This is not Grenzo. It's just not Grenzo. It's like you just picked the top one instead of 1 out of 3 non-lands. Grenzo as a heist strategy is excellent. You don't have access to blue, which is a little unfortunate. Quite unfortunate, actually, but that's a different deck entirely. If you want to play a Grixis deck that heists, this probably is the commander to go to just because the +2 is adorable. But again, your average heisted card is not really that good, from my experience heisting, outside of specifically Grenzo, because it can cast it for free. This does cast it for free, but this cost 7, and you don't pick one of 3. You pick the top one randomly, or just a random one. And at least it's not a land, it's got that going for it. I did play against the 4-mana Nicol Bolas, and I'm pretty sure the 4-mana Nicol Bolas, to the extent of my knowledge, is in Tier 1. Now, if that's not the case, and you can play against non-Tier 1 strategies, playing the 4-mana Nicol Bolas, I would probably play that instead of this in the command zone. It is your only creature, so it's safe to say it probably dies a lot, because all of your opponent's removal just goes right into it. But it's still probably better. It does something immediately, just like this does, and it costs 4 instead of, 7. And you can play 2-mana Mana Rocks and cast it on turn 3, so your deck kind of goes in that direction again, which, I was trying to avoid. But I didn't have any creatures in here just to not do that thing, and it felt fine. It felt fine. Like, I think the first few games I lost, the first 3 games I played, but then I won a lot of the games after the first 3. I kind of finagled the list around a little, and then it just got better. I also had Windswept Heath instead of Marsh Flats in here for a while, so that was my bad. I don't think it ever came to bite me, though. It's just kind of funny. But there is the slight downside of you're not able to 1-for-1 your opponents super efficiently in this format, because a lot of things come with value. And if you're ever knocked off of, like, if you're out-tempoed or you stumble a little, it's hard to come back without, like, a board wipe, and, start, like, suffering from typical control deck issues, right? It was very crucial that I had slots in my deck dedicated to drawing cards, right? I just kind of needed to start drawing more cards. Other than cantrips, I need my cards to sort of 2-for-1 themselves in my hand, so I can continuously answer the things my opponents are doing. There was a Urion game where it went to turn like 30 and I had a full hand and I still lost because I ran out of gas. Like, I ran out of cards and my opponent just kept like casting cantrip rocks and cast Urion twice and I lost. Like, kind of crazy, but I just needed ways to not run out of gas, and I had to, accommodate that. So if you like Grixis control, this is just what this is, right? This is kind of how you would play Grixis control. I think it's solid. I don't think it's amazing. I'd probably make the argument my last deck, Ral, was maybe just better. It might have actually been better than this. I don't know if the black added that much at the cost of, like, not really casting a reliable commander, right? Ral Zarek, or the furry Ral, the otter, is really good at defending itself with creatures, and then, like, gives itself a ton of loyalty to quickly, like, win the game. It's, again, different enough. Blue-red control plays differently than this does. This can beat things at resolves with black removal spells. Cruelty of Gix probably could have came out. I didn't really have anything to do with this. Like, the top part is alright, the middle part is just a tutor, and then reanimating most threats to me are not that exciting out of just opponents' decks, because I don't have any creatures of my own. So again, that's just more of the heist thing, is stealing your opponent's stuff, and it felt to me like the worst thing in my deck. But again, maybe there's a little shift in how it plays when you're all in on the heist stuff, but I'm not seeing it. Every time I play a heist deck, it just feels like I'm playing half of my opponent's commander, half of my opponent's deck, and it's all like clunky, and then my heisting cards, excuse me, my heisting cards aren't like 2 for 1-ing my opponent, really. So, I don't know, but those are my onions. You can peel it as deep as you want. Let me know what you thought about this traditional Grixis control deck, which I was kind of overdue playing anyways. I love control decks. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.